Yo, what's up guys, Boogle here. Today we got the Crazed Titan Redux guide. Now to be clear, the old guide still works. This one will just provide a lot more information. You can still use the strategy from the old guide and apply it to your lineup. And that's essentially what we're going to do here. Like always with these beginner Redux guides, we're going to go through the stage with level 25 to 20 units. Now the first thing with the lineup here is combos. Combos is real nice for this stage because there isn't too many meat shields you gotta bring, unless you're using like a wave blocker or a wave immune unit that could sit at a decent range. For that, you can just apply the Manic Titan strat. But for this, we're gonna focus on the main strategy of trying to limit as much waves as possible. And how we do that is using one meat shield, which is Crazed Macho. Now for combos, you can do two things here. You can go an attack up combo. Only recommend this if you have like true forms and such, but the other combo I recommend over the attack up with lower level units is a defense up combo. Or you can do a combination of the two with a lot of new combos being added into the game. But the reason I recommend defense up is because with the lower level units like we have here, surviving a wave is crucial. So what we want to do is try to get as much health as possible out of our units. So stuff like our legends like Bahamut or Udodun Wolf can actually survive a wave. Or if you're using stuff like Ubers, they'll be able to survive that wave. Well, most will be able to survive at least one wave. But as you guessed it, that's what the whole lineup revolves around. Surviving the waves, so what we want to do is bring our ranged, high health units that can act as a general area attacker or DPS. In this example, our two units here that are crucial is Castaway and Ring Girl Cat. Castaway is especially nice for this because Castaway can survive waves even without the defense up combo. So first thing, of course, combos. Second thing, get your high health ranged units. Stuff like Ring Girl Cat, Castaway. If you have true forms, King Dragon can survive waves at a decent level. Of course, Crazed Dragon can survive waves. Your whole lineup doesn't have to be all of those units. Just make sure you have at least 1 to 2. Anti-wave units can also fulfill the same role, stuff like Octo or wave immune units. The next most important thing is of course even more DPS, because you need to stack as much as possible, so we are going to bring even more ranged attackers, and in this lineup we are using Paris and Dragon. Now you must be wondering why it's so damn crucial to survive the waves. It's because when Crazed Titan does wave, and all of your units get wiped out, that lets the Gories just push all the way up to your base and start smacking it down. In the old guide, I actually used Jamiera as our wave surviving unit that could take a wave and be there for when all of our units get wiped out and the Gories start pushing. But of course, we can't do that here because we do not have true forms. Pairing extremely long range units like Hacker Cat, Afro, and some of the Lugas with wave blockers in the front is also a nice strategy. That's pretty much the Manic Jamiera strategy. Now as for your cycle type units like your legends or Ubers, really anything works, just make sure it can dispose of the Gories quickly. Also make sure it does outrange Crazed Titan, otherwise that will be a big problem. The legends here aren't really our main source of damage, but they do help out tremendously with the Gories and surviving waves. But the chip damage added can help, so I definitely do recommend bringing a unit that can fill that role. But if you want to CPU the level away, that can also work as well by using no legends and just using straight all attackers. As you can tell, there's endless ways to take on this level. The main thing is the strategy. You don't need the exact same lineup or the exact same levels. A guide is a guide, not something you should strictly follow to a 1-to-1 ratio. Grab the information you need out of it and use it to your advantage. But that's pretty much it for the lineup explanation. It's a pretty simple one. Let's hop into the stage. Now for power-ups, I highly do recommend bringing Sniper Cat power-up, unless you're bringing like Sniper the Recruit as a unit, or you get incredibly lucky with your knockbacks using Wolf. Sniper Cat gives you that extra safety when fighting real close to the base. And trust me, you might be fighting real close to the base, especially with such low level units that we have here. Now in the beginning, it's as always stack up your cash, get it maxed out, and get prepared for when you hit the base. You always want to abuse these stages that have a base hit. If you hit the base too early and unprepared, you just get overrun. Now I'm gonna go over the strategy with 2 different lineups as examples, but the level still stays pretty much the same unless you're using like a wave block long range strategy. Like pairing Octo with Cyberpunk will completely destroy the stage. But here, when you hit max cash, just hit the base. That's all you gotta do. Just stack up your attackers and hit the base. From here on out, it's a constant battle back and forth where Crazed Titan is sometimes gonna miss his hits because the Gories will push back Crazed Macho and Crazed Titan will hit the air, and that means he has a 100% chance to not wave. Now there still is going to be some unlucky moments where he does land that hit and wave, but with the lineup and strategy we've built here, we're going to be able to counter those waves even if they do happen frequently. As you can see here in this example run, we got pretty unlucky with waves, getting waved a lot here in the beginning, like a lot. And like a minute or 2 after Crazed Titan coming out of the base, we're already this close to our base. Now a little trick I mentioned in the old guide is to not always have all of your attackers on cooldown at once. If you want to play it extra safe and guarantee that win, try to keep a unit not in the cooldown cycle. What I mean by that is when Crazed Titan waves and all of your attackers are on cooldown, there's really no way to fight back. Then you just get pummeled at the base. Now with this lineup, we don't have to worry about having all of our attackers on cooldown because we do have main attackers that can survive the wave and hold ground. Sometimes even survive multiple waves like Castaway. There's no real cycle to look out for here because the Gories are pretty random at sometimes. And as for your legends, you don't really need to have them up all the time, it's just there just in case. Like in this situation, we got the Wolf knockback, getting more space and being able to hold more ground. But it's not like you need to have Wolf on the field at all times. All you have to make sure is stack up your attackers as much as possible and make sure to always have at least 1 unit on the field that can survive a wave. And if you want to apply that little trick from the old guide here by not sending out that unit all the time and not keeping it on cooldown, that works as well, but most of the time you should be fine just spamming your attackers. And as you can tell, throughout this run we've been fighting next to the base pretty much the whole time, and this is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The good part being our attackers are real quick to get up into the field and into the action and get right where they need to be quickly. That allows us to stack quicker and in turn greatly stacks our DPS. So that is the upside, not having all of your attackers walk up all the way up to halfway in the field. You send them out and they're already attacking, already into the action and stacking up. Now, as you can probably tell, the bad thing about this is Crazed Titan is right next to the base. So if he decides to wave and you have no backup units there for the Gories, it's pretty much a GG. Now there's lots of flexibility in your lineup. Like mentioned before, there's lots of attackers that can be used. Stuff like Drama Cats is a staple replacement. Crazed UFO also works as the no gotcha option. But other than that, it's really just get true forms and then this becomes 20 times easier. Now in this lineup example, we're using a combination of the defense combo with the attack combo. This allows us to, of course, output a large amount of more damage while also having that extra safety of getting waved and surviving. But in short, it's pretty much the same thing, just stackable DPS with units that can survive waves. Like you'll see multiple times here that the units that survive multiple times is always Ring Girl Cat and Castaway Cat, and that allows us to hold that ground for the Gory wave and get back up and recover quickly. Like I mentioned before, fighting near the base is also a good thing because we can recover way faster and stack up way faster as well. But of course it does come with a risk. But if you have Sniper Cat power up, you should be fine. The main thing is don't panic, because if you do panic, you'll mess up and you'll send out the attackers you don't need and you'll probably die. Try to contain the situation. If you do get waved right next to the base, try to remember your cooldowns or keep a solid eye on your wave surviving AoE attackers that are up or not. Don't just panic spam everything. But yeah, that about does it for the Crazed Titan Redux guide. Drop a like if this guide helped you out, of course. Subscribe if you're new. Join the hashtag Boogle gang. A link to the Discord is down below. It's been John Boogle and see ya.